Okay, so I'm here today. Somebody was asking about getting this file and having and everything. Real quick, I just want to point out this file is a fake. This file is a phony. It is not laser engraved. You can sit here and you can tell by how that gold uh, rope has been edited in there, photoshopped in there. You can just tell by the difference. You can tell by the basketball. The basketball. Um, you won't get the grains. You're not going to get the dimples or anything of that nature. I don't care how great of a painter you are. It just isn't going to happen. I'll zoom in even more. This is fake. How is it fake? Because here's the wood grain you can see here, but yet there is no wood grain anywhere else on this object. All this is just a effect done in Photoshop and I know GIMP or a graphic editor. Um, it can be done in Inkscape. Like I said, so it's not truly what it really seems to be. Sorry, but that really frustrates me. But anyway, so let's get on to making this. So I'm going to use Inkscape. Why do I use Inkscape? I see numerous times in other posts, oh, this can easily be done in Lightroom. Well, unfortunately, not everybody has access to Lightburn. There are many other lasers out there that have their own operating systems, proprietary, and that's some of the main focus of this group is we're trying to keep everything universal. We don't make it where you have to go out and spend all this money on programs and do all this. Those are your choices. We're just trying to help you get starter programs. So I use Inkscape. Why do I use Inkscape? Because Inkscape is open source and it's no charge. Why do I not just say it's free? Because it's better than free. You don't have limitations. And so enough of that. Let's get busy. So in the file section, you'll find that I actually have a downloaded blank ornament template. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull that template in there. In Inkscape, I want my DPI to be 72. That way it's to scale. So now we have that. That's in there. It's already in. We'll zoom in so you can see it. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll come over and we'll reference this image. We'll have to come out with the text and do all the wording and everything, but that's not a problem. It's all pretty simple. So one of the first things we need to do is we need to make us a rectangle. We're going to come off here to the side. I'm going to draw out a rectangle. Excuse me. I have it there. I come up here because I have rounded corners from the last time I do it. I like to do round corners. I don't like to do square point corners for laser cutting. It's just how it is and just how I feel. But anyway, so all I have to do is hit this up here, makes corner sharps. Boom, I click that. Now I have sharp corners. It doesn't matter for what we're going to do. I can come here now and go back to my select tool. I have it selected and I want my height on this to be 20 millimeters and I'm working in millimeters. That's how I do that. So I have that. Now all I have to do is it's selected, hold shift. I can select both objects. I have, it says at the bottom down here, two objects selected. I can come here to my alignment tool. You can click here and open that tab, or you can come up here. One of those I forget exactly now, but do it. It's set for page. I don't want page. I want last selected, and all I want to do is just center it on its vertical axis. Center it on its vertical. I deselect everything and I select the rectangle again, and if I hold shift, all right, only shift and grab one of these arrows, I can stretch it out and make it wider than what it is. So there we have that. Now, I don't exactly like where it's positioned, so I can click, make sure I have that selected. I use my down arrows and I can come down a little bit. We're just going to go with it right there. So now that we have that shape done. So all I can do, I can go on to the next step, but we're going to keep moving. So now I want to grab both of these objects and I want to come up here to the shape builder tool. And up here I have choices. Right here is the add function, and this is the subtract or delete function. So I can just go here to delete, and what I don't want that part. That'll be gone. I don't want that part. I don't want this outside. I don't want that outside, and I don't want that piece. And those are gone out of my way. Now all I have to do is go to the add, and I can come to this one now. See it's blue. I can click and hold with my left mouse button and drag into what I want to keep, and it makes it all one piece, just like that. I can release it, come over here and grab that, and it's automatically going to fill it in. And I can click finish up here or just hit enter on my keyboard. And there, now I have that. That's all molded together as one. So going back and looking at our reference image. So now they have coach, and we'll go ahead and we'll make in coach. We're not going to mess around trying to figure out what font it is. We're going to use whatever font it is that you have handy and is available. When you do graphic design or any kind of graphic design or digital design, you'll find that you're actually really only going to use a handful of fonts. So coach, I'm going to type out coach. This is the one I use, McRib. I use that most often. It's like my favorite is font. I don't know why, it just is. So I have coach typed out. I'm not going to worry about my spacing because I'm going to make a backdrop on it and do it as an engrave over top of it. So what I do is I have that, go back to my select tool. I have that selected, hold shift, select my ring, and now I just want to go center, and I can hit other center too, and we'll move it around a little bit. And then to be different, we'll just double click over here with our select tool, click once, click twice. Now I have my rotation handles, and I can just rotate that just a little bit, something like that. Kind of looks cool, yeah. Then I come over here, and then if I hold my control and I click and with my left and drag down, it only goes one way. You know what I'm saying? It won't be jumping all over the place or anything like that. So we can hold it there. Like that, something like that. Let's go up a little bit higher. We'll go right there with that. And then if I come back and I have that and I hold my shift, what will happen? I can make it longer without losing any position. And I'm going to go ahead and let it come out and over top because I just kind of like that effect myself as far as that goes. And now I can take and hold control. I can bring it down just so these are touching a little bit here. I don't want them all touching. Mm, maybe not. We'll just go with something like that. Looks pretty good, yeah. We like that. So now that I have that selected, what I want to do is I want to hit Control D and duplicate. Or I can come over and I can right click and click duplicate and have that. So I have all that selected and I'm going to make it a different color. And for now, we're just going to go ahead and make it red. And it is a fill. It has no stroke set to it yet whatsoever. So I have that. And then what I want to do is I want to move it to the back, to the bottom. And I just click to the bottom. It's in the bottom. And I have that selected. Then I want to come up to path. And I'm going to go with path effects this time, my path effect. And what I need to do first is I need to convert the text to a path. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that. Automatically it's done. And now I can apply a path effect. And I want to do my drop down and the path effect I want is offset. So I have offset. Miter don't matter at this point. Millimeters doesn't matter. If we're in millimeters, that's what we'll stay with. And I want to go, in this case, it's 1.5. And I can hit tab and come out and you can see it. Now I have all that. And that's good. That's done. I'm done. And now to set my path effect, and so you don't run into problems and you crash, come up here to path with that selected and hit object to path. And now you can see the path effect is gone and it's made a path and nothing else has changed. So I have that. So the next thing I want to do is now I want to union that all together. So I can go in and try to do unions and stuff. It gets to be tricky when you start playing around with paths and strokes and fills. So it's just as easy. I want to come down here and I want to grab the black text. And I know it's black because it's not set. We're just going to go ahead and set it to black. And now we can see it's black. And I come up here to my layers and objects, the one highlighted, text one, and I can hide that because I don't want to see that no more. So now I can take and drag over both these objects. I have both objects selected. I can go to Path Builder again, and I can go in and I can delete what I don't want. And it's probably going to be better because I want to delete these circles out in the middle here. And I'm going to have to hold Control and I roll in. I get it. And there I have that. So I want to knock that one out. Zoom out a little bit. Come here and I want to knock that one out. Same thing. I want to come over here. I want to knock that one out. Why I can't. And then same thing down here. We don't want that. We don't want that. And then I can push down on my scroll wheel, and I can get rid of that. Go ahead and get rid of that. Go ahead and get rid of that one. Hold down on my scroll wheel, look around a little bit. I can get rid of that big part right there. And you don't have to do the rest, but I really wanted to make sure I get these little ones is what I'm really interested in getting out of there so they're out in the way. And what was going on there, but that don't worry about it. It's too small to worry about. So are some of those other ones. And we'll get rid of that center piece there. So now all I can do is come back up here to the top, switch it back over to add. And again, by holding the left mouse, clicking and holding the left mouse button and dragging into what I want to keep. And I want all to be one piece. Like that, I can release, do another one right here. Make sure I get that one, make sure I get that one, and make sure I go up and get that one. Come over here and come out and get both of those. Release, click, drag, get that one. Same thing, come over here, click, drag into that and that. Now I have all that. I can click finish up here or hit enter on my keyboard. Boom, now I have all that. Back to my layers tool, we can turn that on and now you can see, and what it'll do is it'll go ahead and it'll grave that over top of it, kind of like that's how the appearance they're giving here is an engraved appearance. Because trust me, this was not done on a laser. This is just a mock up image that they created in GIMP, Photoshop, Inkscape, Illustrator, whatever program or silhouette they use. This is not, has not been engraved and has not been cut out. I just want to make sure I point that out because they do this stuff and it makes it look like, oh, look how dark and great and good all that is. No, that is not going to be the case, especially when you start dealing with all this little text. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to come in. We could have did this earlier, but it's no big deal. We're going to grab our circle and arc tool. We're going to come over here and we're going to hold control and draw us out a circle. It don't have to be perfect right now, and we don't want no fill on our circle. We'll just leave it like that, and then we'll hold shift, and we'll make the stroke blue. So now, what we can do is grab our select tool again. We have it selected, and now we can drag it over into here until hopefully it would snap, but the center of this ornament is a little bit different, and we could undo it. So now I have that. It looks pretty close to center. I can hold control and shift this time, and I can drag that out just until I start to touch these other edges of the inside ring there. And now I need to move it up a little bit. So that's too much holding control so I don't come off center. I want to move that around. My snapping's off so I can move a little more finer detail. Something like that. Zoom in a little more. And we're basically just trying to get it so it's close to perfect. I mean, it don't have to be. And like I said, we could have broke our ornament apart at the beginning and just used that, and it probably would have been better. And we have that, and then I want to hold control shift again, and I want to drag this open a little bit more, just so it's something like that in there. I'm pretty close to it right there, as you can see. And then just to double check, I can, with it selected, I can go hold shift, select that, come to my alignment, and the only one I can do is vertical. If I do center, it's going to move it way up. And I'll show you. See how it moved it way off center because the center of the object isn't the center of the inside ring. Control Z, it moves it back. So there we're fairly close, and we're just going to leave it at that for now. Okay, so we have that inner circle. Now we need text. So what I'm going to do instead of trying to type, because I don't agree with some of these words to describe a coach. Um, again, just my personal reasons. Coaches are not patient. I'm so sorry uh, about that. Just how it is. Coaches are not patient. So I go up here. I found a good coach. Right here's what it is. A good coach can change a game. A great coach can change your life by John Wooden. And then it's written down here. So all I do is highlight it, right click, copy, and I want the John Wooden on there because whenever you're using quotes, give reference back to them coaches. So I come over here and I can click paste. Whoops, I need text. I come over there and I can right click, click paste. Now I have that. Um, with my text tool, I click inside the box anywhere. It's on centimeters. I forget what I was doing. I want to go back to pixels. And sometimes I just like to choose that twice and drop down, and that's not right. So there, now I'm on pixels, and I want to be, I think, 20, no, 20, uh, let's go with 12 actually. We'll zoom in, you can see it. But I want to change my font. I don't want to be burn. I want to go, and my other favorite one is Verdania. which is a very common used font now that I have that. So with that, I go to my select tool. It is selected. I hold select and I want to zoom in and I hold shift and I want to type on the blue circle right there. And I have two objects, tells me at the bottom, I have two objects selected. I come up here to text and I want to say put on path. And there it is going around the path of that circle. So um, now if I want to get it done, all I have to do is click a second time. I get my rotation handles and I can rotate it around something like that in there. And that seems to fit perfect. So I'm happy with that. Now what we want to do is, because some reason we must not have a complete circle. That's what the problem is. So we can fix that. We can go over here, just select the circle, make sure that, and we do have a complete circle. But for some reason, it got off center. So we have our circle, hold shift, select the ornament, our alignment, and we want to align vertically. And then, um, let's see, we need to move it up a little bit. I can probably try the mouse wheel, but oops, Control Z. Why did it do that? So we just have the blue, hold Control, and it's not working. Come down here. Now we have the blue circle. Hold Control. Right, and move that back up. Let's see, it's moving my text. I don't like that. Control Z. So we'll just do it from down here at the bottom. And I hold Control, and there I can move everything up, and the text should be moving with that. And then we can zoom out a little bit, see what we're looking at. That looks a little bit better. And now that I know I have that blue circle um, selected, and I don't think I'm centered. Hold that, shift, and vertical I am. So we come back, get our blue circle again. We have our blue circle. And we have that. What we can do is we can hold shift this time and grab this outside arrow and pull that up a little bit. Just so it's like that. It looks right, but something's just not looking right with my text. So what I can do is select my text, both objects, go to text, remove from path. There it's straightened out, and we don't have that problem anymore. And let's get the circle more in shape here. So holding shift and that, go to last selected, centered. I don't want the text. I just want the blue circle. That, go to center, and I'll move that to center. Deselect, select my blue circle, move it down, and and that's why. See, I thought my blue circle was not perfect. So what we'll do is we'll change this, and we're going to make it 95 tab by 95 tab. There we go. And now, if I hold shift, select there, vertical center. Hmm, oh, I see why it's not working right, because I remember I oversized on the letters and let them overhang on my circle, so they're probably not exactly perfect as far as that goes. No big deal again. So we can come in here, and zoom in a little bit more so we can see. Select our blue, hold Control, and move that over a little bit. Zoom out, look and see. Not too bad, not too bad. Come in here, hold Control, and move it up a little bit. I want to go about half the distance, something like that. And it should be a little more, just to keep it right. Hold Control, move that up just a smidge, and there's a smidge, there's a smidge, and we're going to go ahead and call that fairly good right there where it's at. So now we have that. We have the blue circle. Hold Shift, select the text. We have both selected, two objects. Go to text and put on path in there. Now remember where the circle, because it only remembers the points where the circle started. Deselect, and then we want the blue circle again, right there. And if we hold Shift, then we can drag that out until it's about looks about right into the center, something like right about there. We go any smaller, it'd be different. Then we can come down here, and then what we can do now is go ahead and take that circle, and we can. Um, Now, before we do that, we're going to select on the text up here. Now we have the text, and we're going to go to Path, Object to Path. So now it is free from the circle, and that we have it. So now we can use that other circle for whatever. And then what we'll do is we're going to put down here. We'll grab our font tool, our text tool, come over here. Why it does not want to remember my font is beyond me, but I want Verdania. Go right there, and I want it to be 12 pixels. Hit enter. We have that, and then I want to type. Let's see, what do I want to type? What's some of the words they had on there? Let's go ahead and type some of those. Done with that. Supportive, trusting, knowledgeable. So come over here, and we're going to put caps lock on. Okay, knowledgeable, knowledgeable. We have that. And then if I want the dot, to use dot would be Alt 00B7 release. And I got that, but it also picked up the B, so you have to use your arrow, go back one, backspace, get rid of that forward arrow, and now you're in the front. Knowledgeable, skillful, oops, skillful, hold Alt 00B7, and then I have back one, backspace, forward one. On my arrow keys, what else we have? Trusting, I guess, I don't know. That, hold Alt 00B7, I get that, back up one, backspace, go forward. Um, see what other words can we get in here. What else did they have? What did they have for words? Back out, back out. Goals, respectful. We'll go goal. Uh, goal. Let's go with oriented. Goal oriented, like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and go with Alt 00B7 after. Use my arrow back one, backspace, forward one. And I'm going to go ahead and jump to the front of the text and make sure I'm at the front. There, I'm at the front. There, and I'm going to put another dot there. Alt 00B7, enter. And then I have to do is go back arrow space or left arrow, backspace, and there, I'm done. So now I can come up here to the select tool. I have it selected. I can hold shift and select my blue circle again. And then I can come here to path, or not path, but text, put on path. But remember, I rotated, so I have to do that. Zoom out, and then I can rotate my circle. And whoops, and zoom in, rotate my circle. I don't know why it seems to be rotating off. That's confusing me a little bit, but Control Z, Control Z, and then Control Z, take that off the path once. And I have that circle there. And why is my circle not right? So again, we're going to make our circle 106. Take that off. Tab 106. Tab. And, don't worry about all Control Z, or not. Then we're going to go to path. Is a path. No, object. And there's a way to reverse your, it's in path, simplify right here, reverse, and reverse my path. Let's see what that does for us. And then I have I have both objects selected, Control Z, select that, path. So I just want the circle. That's why it went funky on me. So again, we're going to make this 97 tab, 97 tab, like that. And then I can take and maneuver it, manipulate it a little bit. Just from here. There we go. Something like that, good enough for me. Hold shift, select my text, go to text, put on path, and then lock that. Deselect, just select the circle. It's locked. It is second time rotation handles. Let's just hold control this time. And there we go. And get it down here, grab that one. And release. And then I can go a little bit and just fine tune it. And we'll leave it just like that right there. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so that's all done. And now what we want to do is select our text here. And it's a text. So we go to path, object to path. It's sealed and locked. Double check this, the path. And then we can click our blue circle and delete. We got rid of our blue circle. There's that. So next thing, what do we need now? We need basketball. So now we're going to do is a basketball. See, we don't have to worry about trying to put that cutout hole in there because we use our ornament template, which already has a cutout for us. So I went ahead and I've already downloaded one off of publicdomains.com. And so you can see, I'll go to my downloads folder and you'll see there basketball. And if you wonder how my SVGs pop up, I use Power Tools uh, down here. Power Toys, I'm sorry. I use Power Toys. It's part of Windows, and you can see SVGs that way. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drag this in. 72. Okay, we don't care about the size anyways for the most part. I won't go over here and close my path effects. We don't need that no more. I'm going to drag this ball off, and then what we're going to do is holding Control and Shift, drag it down smaller. Then we'll bring it over into here, something like that, or let's get it over. We'll just bring it over here, right here, a little bit to that way. And what I want to do is I want to hold Shift and hit black, and now I have my stroke. And see what happens when we do fill, and we don't want that, so we're going to say no fill. And there, boom. Now I have my basketball. See how that all worked out. And then, so now what we can do is we want that, hold Shift, and select the outside object. We have those two objects. Go ahead and go. We could just go to Union, but we were liking the Shape Builder tool. And that's not working. So we have that, and let's just see what happens if we go here to Path, Union, and one of the objects is not a path, cannot perform the operation. Deselect. So we'll come over here, that's a path. What's this? Also group two objects. So what I have to do is I have to ungroup that. And what do I have? Oh, see that? I have a drop shadow down there. I don't need that drop shadow. So I can select, deselect, and now we can come in. Now we can actually select both objects. Select that one. It's a group of four objects, so we want to deselect that. What's our four objects? Group of one. Hit ungroup again, or ungroup, 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 ungroup. No groups in objects. So there we go. So what are our four objects? We'll go to our layer tool and see, and then we can just start shutting things off. That's the whole thing there. What else is it? Why? Hmm, very interesting. But I think it's because I was had everything. I think it shuts it all off. Yeah, it shuts them all off one time. So I would have to drag around, but we'll see. Let's see what we can find going on here. Drag that off. So there's that shadow. We don't need that shadow. We better get rid of that one. What else we got here? Drag that over. There's another shadow. We don't need that. What else we got here? There's that inner one. We need that. Control Z, put it back. Just click off and get this one here. What do we got here? And there's our ring. Control Z, put that back. Hold Shift, select both pieces. Go ahead, hold Shift, make them black. And first go hold Shift, go none, then make them black. So we have black in that path. And then what we want to do is come up here to path, combine path. Now it's all one. It's all black. See how that worked out for us? And actually, we don't want to do that. Control Z because we want it separated. So that's going to be on its own layer. So what we want is just that one to make sure that's what we have in our path, boom. And we want that to be black. This is going to be a cutout, and that's the only piece that we want. So what we want to do is select that. We have that one, and we turn it off so we can't see it. Boom, deselect. Now select the black ring. Come up here, hold shift, select the outside ring. Then we're going to grab our shape builder tool, and it's not going to let us do it again. So let's go ahead and we have on this path, and Union ain't going to be really good. Yeah, no, Union did work. All right. So we got our Union now. It's Union in. We can turn that back on, and that's there and set. There we have our basketball and set. And then all you have to do is whatever name you want to put here is then we'll just make a text layer, and we'll go over here. And now you want to change to something different. And let's see, Mr. Smith is what we'll say. Again, I'll go back to my go-to font. Oh, excuse me, which is grid, and we'll make it 48. Let's go ahead and make it 64. 72 would be good. Go to our select tool, grab our select tool. We come over here and we place it in position. Okay. And there, and then, like I said, you can work with the size and the positioning and all that you want. And we're just going to leave that as a text for now. And so, well, how we're going to do it is because I use Lightburn, and we're going to head and open Lightburn, let it do its thing. Because I'm not, my laser's not on. I'll come back. And so what I want, so what it has on Lightburn, your first layer is 000. That's black. So that's what we're going to leave Mr. Smith at. And now it's editable, and you can do whatever you want and change the name out however you want. Um, to be it, basically what you'll do is you would delete it and then put in your own text on your own layer, and that's how it would work. And then so that things don't get messed up for you and confused, deselect that, and then what we want is we want this text, shift, hold that text because it's black, it's going to be engraved, hold shift, select the coach, the black coach word, and that's what we have. And then we want this inner ring also. Hold shift and select. And we have all those. And to tell what we have, what we do is boom. And now you see what we have and what we don't. It's there. And then we put it over here and we're going to group those. And now I'm going to put them on the next layer in Lightburn, which is blue, because I have all that one group. And all I have to do, because it's a fill, and I hit blue, and now that's all blue on the next layer. And that's way, like I said, so you can change out the name, it'll be on its thing. And then once you have that, you can put it all on its own layer if you'd like. But I'm leaving it for it to be able to do that. Now, the next layer that you would have would be the red layer, because that's your cut layer, and that's what we already have it set for red and cut and everything. So it's all set. Boom, it's ready to go. So we hold out, And then we drag over top of everything like that. We have those basically just two objects, three objects selected because of the text. And then I come up here to File and I go to Export. I want to export selection and then make sure I check this box down here, export selected only, export. Then I come into my paths folders here. We're just going to put it on our desktop. And I already have one made where I called it right there. You can see, but I forgot the basketball. So we're just going to use that again and save over top of it, save, replace. In my case, yours would be saved. So now it's done. So now I can jump over here to Lightburn just to double check everything. I don't have to burn it. And then I want to go to desktop, scroll down, there's the coach, drag that in there, minimize, come over to my layers tool. And why this separated on me, I don't know. Normally my laser is underneath here and they're all in the same window and you can access it. I cannot get it to go back. Um, I don't know why or anything on that line. Oh, another thing. Somebody asked me the other day, how do you move these bars if you want to move any of these toolbars around or anything? So basically what it is at the end you see these dots right here and you'll see it down here on the layer thing. All you do is click, hold, and then you can drag them to wherever you want. So if you want them there, that's fine. I kind of prefer them back down where here at the bottom. Come on, right there. But that way I can see them all. And that's how you have it. So I have everything, and basically, I want this to be to fill. I'm going to go ahead and we'll just leave it like that. But we need to we're going to be doing some things. 702. See, I don't even understand that. 702 is not something I use. I use 600 and normally by increments of 300 because by default, that's how it automatically adjusts. When I hit these arrows, it adjusts it by 300 all the time. So I'm not sure what's going on there with all this, but oh well. That's just life. And I never run 100% power. That's another thing. I don't understand that. I do not run 100% power. Usually 92.5 would be the highest power I ever run. But that's, here or there. We're going to do that and move this back up to 3600. And we'll move this to 3600 also, just so it previews faster. Probably could have been done if I would have just previewed. So I have that. All my output layers are there. And then, I would drag it down. It's all one item. If you want to adjust, you have to ungroup. You ungroup. Then, like I said, you can get rid of the word Mr. Smith and put in your own by text or whatever text editor you have. Millimeters, just because I have it, 54.5 tab, 28. And there, I'm now in a position where I would be if I was actually going to cut this out real close, I'd have to adjust a little bit for the wood. So I have that. We're going to hit play so you can see what's going on here. And you see it does the word Mr. Smith first. Now it's going to go through and it's going to engrave all this stuff. So I think I've been better off on offset fill doing it because of the way it's doing it, but it's all right. It's no big deal to us. This is just a preview. And how you set your laser up is how you set your laser up. And then see right there was a problem I didn't fix with my thing. So what I'll do is because I'm going to go ahead and upload this file when it's done, and we'll fix that right now. Click OK. Go back into Inkscape because what did I forget to do? I don't think I converted ungroup, ungroup, control, roll in, do that. I have that text. See, that's still text. So what I want to do is I want to go path, object to path. And then just to make sure, I want to go to path with it still selected. And I want to go to path. I want to do break apart, deselect, and I want to get rid of the circle, delete. Oops, whoa, no, no, no. Control Z there. There. I don't need to do the break apart, my bad. But I did need to convert it to a path. And then that way we won't have all that overlap. So now again, control over, It's going to save it wherever I last did. So now I can just go ahead and hit export, hit replace, um, jump back here to Inkscape real quick, zoom out, make sure I have everything selected, hit delete, come over to my file folder, hit refresh. Then I can grab my coach again, drag that in there, minimize it, set my position, 54.5, tab, 28, tab. I have all that. Now you can come up here and it's still wanting to do that. I see, I don't like that. But what we'll do is we'll do it here. So we want to go ahead and ungroup. See how it did all that? Shift tab and go to union. And then we have that. Shift tab, go to union and shift select union. And then just because that's part of it, and then we'll do union with that letter. And there it took away all that. And then what we'll do is we can just drag over everything selected again, go to file, export. It's on my desktop. Click that, the ornament, save. Do you want to replace it? Yes, replaced it. And there, that's fixed. So that's what I would have to do is go down here, back in Inkscape to do that in Inkscape. Where am I at? So what I want to do is deselect. I want to hold that, select that, see what it is. Control Z, control, let's see, where is it now? It's text. So if I go up here, I go to path, um, object path, path, is it break apart? See, I do break apart and I'm getting that. So what we can do is make sure we drag it, whoops, control Z. We want to get just those. We got three objects, so hold shift, select outside. Nope. There, and get rid of the C. And I have those two letters, and I need to go to path union. No. Hmm. Try. Come on now. We'll turn some of this stuff off. Get it out of our way. Okay, deselected, draw up in here. And you're selecting everything. Shift, get rid of you, get rid of you. Two objects done. And I want to go to path, difference. And there's another object up in here. Yep, see that? Hold shift, hit path, difference, deselect. I'm gonna get the little one there. Come over here, hold shift, get that. This is what it is, just so I can get rid of them knockouts. And it'd be difference. I have difference there. Now I can start select that, select that, select that, select that, and go to path union. Now it's all one piece and you won't have those overlaps. But we, like I said, I already fixed it in Lightroom, but that's how you would have to fix it in Inkscape or pretty much any other graphic editor too. Lightburn doesn't have all the same functionality as everything else. So you could do that. Do it that way. You could also use Shape Builder. But one thing about using Shape Builder gives you a lot of nodes. So now that we have it like that, we'll go to preview again real quick, hit play so you can all see what's going on here. Do that. And I could have won faster speed just so we get done through this faster. But this is pretty much how it's going to engrave. Like I said, you can feel free to ungroup this layer of these blue lines, and that way it can engrave it however you want. Again, like I said, I'd keep the name on a separate layer, and it's a separate thing, so you can change it out easily and do all that. And now it's cutting inside, now it's cutting outside. And then one other thing, what I would do is when I do all this, then I click OK, so that's all good to go on there. And then to save this, then what I'm going to do is jump over here real quick at my desktop. I want a new folder, and we're going to call it the Coach Ornament, COACH ORN AMENT ornament. So I have that. Boom. And then it's not selected. Then I can just select that piece right there, hit cut, find my new folder, go in there and paste that in there. So now we have it. That's everything. Then we'll rename that while we're here, and we'll call it Coach all layers like that. Boom, we have that done. Come over here now, and going back to our export tab. Oh, first, we need to turn that back on. So we have that turned back on. Now I want Mr. Smith. I have that. I go there to my export tab, drop down here, and now I want to find my coach ornament file. I want to go in there, and I want to name this layer layer 1, because that's our text. Layer 1 text. Actually, we'll call it text. Um, text name, layer 1. That's Inkscape, don't matter. Save that. We have that. Then I want to go to my next layer, and I want to select all these. And actually, let's try to here, 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 here. And I can go to group, but to make them run better, I'll go to path, combine, and now it'll all be one path basically. And if you need to separate that later, it'd be that. So I have that there. Click down, and I want to name this one. We're going to call it quotes, QOUT quote layer 2. So that's basically what it is, layer 2. And then what we do is cut off, and then we can click on this one and then come in here. And this way, for people who don't actually have the layer option, this is how they can do it. Be able to run this file and no problems either. And then we're going to call this one outline, cut layer 3 like that, and hit save. And then we have that. And then what we can do is then we have, so that's what we have. And then I'll make these bigger. And then you can see, and then like I said, how, because I had that power tool, I can see my SVG files and what they are. So this would be the order they would run it in. So they want to do that, and then they can change the name or whatever, and they have the spot where it'd be in position to be able to change that name. But see something. Why am I? Yeah. Okay. It's not showing right, but that's all right. Um, again, we'll double check it all. Hit delete, get rid of those. Come over here, and so we want layer 1. I'm not sure why it's showing everything. Why does it have everything? It shouldn't have everything on that one. So come over, select. It's all grouped together. Delete. We'll come back to that one. What else we got? Layer 2 should only be the blue. There we have that. That's good. Deselect, delete. Let's see here. What else we got? Layer 3 should only be the profile. We have that, so that's good. Delete. And now let's go back, deselect, and we have Mr. Smith. There we go. Come over here. That's all good. Hit export, replace. Come back in our files. Hit refresh. Hit refresh, and it still isn't doing that right. So we'll hit that. Come to our layers tab. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that so you can't see it. Go to export selection. There. Export. Replace. What do we have now? There. Now all we have is writing on it. Hit refresh. Again, bring it in Lightburn real quick just to make sure imports are right. And no. Okay, this is confusing me, so I'll have to figure this out here real quick. So I have that. Go to Smith, selection. I'm just going to go in here again real quick. Text name layer 1, save, replace. Come back up here, hit refresh. Let's go out of here. Come back in. Let's go to the light burn. Hit delete. Drag it in. And no, it did it again. Why is it doing this? Okay, I think I know why. And we're going to hit delete. And then we're going to go back into Inkscape. Go to our layers tab. We're going to add a new layer. And add layer 2. And we're going to take that layer, Mr. Smith, and we're just going to drag it down here into layer 2. Hit text, go to export, jump over to selection, export selected only. I only have that in it because it's not an object, I think is what the problem is. Hit that, text name layer, SVG, replace, go to light burn, folder. Why did it give me a home? Almost closed it. Desktop, coach ornament. There we go. Drag in and did it again. Well, for some reason, it's not wanting to cooperate and do that, and I'm not understanding why. It did all the other ones correctly. So get rid of layer. What are you connected to? Are you part of it? No, you're not part of a group. And I don't want to convert it because, well, it's not going to matter. If it's a path or object, you're going to delete it. So we'll make it into a path. Go to export. We have it selected. Hit export. I don't want it to be text 5. We'll right click that, get rid of this. I want it to be text name layer, save, replace, there, delete that. Go back into the coach ornament, hit refresh, drag it in. It's still not cooperating correctly. Turn you off too. Let's go ahead and lock it. Unlock that one. Deselect. It won't let me select because it's locked. Unlock it. There, I have that. Go to export, selection. Sorry, I'm sitting here making you guys watch all this. Deselect that and select it again, just make sure. Export, replace. Come up here, select all, refresh, refresh. Come down here, open light burn. We don't want that, we want this. Oops, light burn. Starting to get frustrated, sorry. And I need to, and it's not, for some reason, it don't want to do it, but I'm not liking that at all. And I do not, for the life of me, understand why this is not doing that. Did I mess up and combine it with something else? Show. Hmm. Zoom in. Move around. Export. Selection. See, and it's showing everything. The width 728, height 173. That's but it's showing that in pixels, so maybe that is right. Click here. to do is get rid of all that, hit save. Drawing exported. So I'm not liking that drawing exported part. Alright, I promise this will be the last time I mess with it. And then hit refresh. And I got name layer, and I can already see it's got everything with it still. So why is it doing that part? Well, I don't know why it's doing that part, but I'll try to fix that before I get it uploaded. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Sorry to drag all that out. And if I actually edit videos, I would get rid of it.